Today, we're going to take a look at Jack Canfield's formula for success. Now, I picked up this idea from his great book called Success Principles. It was about a decade ago, and honestly, I'm still trying to master it myself. It's a super simple yet powerful, not easy to do, three-part equation that we can use all day, every day to help us improve our lives, our relationships, and our results. Hello and welcome back to the Making Hope Happen series. I'm Lori Mage and this is day 25 in the 100-day challenge where I'm stacking my energy, work, and love goals and sharing 100 of my favorite tools, tips, and ideas to help you and me more effectively navigate our changes, master our transitions, and make our dreams come true. Thanks so much for watching. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Jack Canfield says, one of the first and most important principles of success is to take 100% ownership for every single thing that happens in our lives. Everything, not 99%, 100%. He says we can't really control the events, but we can control how we respond to those events. And that's what makes all the difference in the world. That's where our power is at. In the book, he gives us this handy dandy little formula that helps us put this idea into practice. The formula is E plus R equals O. Now the E, that stands for an event. The R stands for a response, not the reaction. And this is a very, very important, subtle distinction. The O, now that stands for an outcome. So really quickly, the event, that can be anything from a person to traffic to an injury or an illness. It might be the weather, a layoff at work. COVID is a perfect example of an event. Maybe it's a spouse cheating on you or your kid gets into a fight at school, you name it. Basically, it's anything and everything that's outside of your control and you can't change it. If you think about it, life is a never-ending flow of events, and we can't possibly predict or control the way these events will unfold in our lives. Before we talk about the R, let's talk about the O, the outcome. Now, similar to the E, there are zero guarantees here. We can't completely control the outcome, but we can influence the outcome by solving for R, by focusing on our response to the event. The R, this is where our power is, and R stands for response. Again, not reaction, right? It's a very, very important distinction. Just take a moment right now. What comes to mind when you think about someone who is reacting versus responding? When we react to events, there's no mindfulness to it. There's no thoughtfulness in it. Response, on the other hand, there's a mindfulness to it. We're conscious, we're aware, we're completely aware that our thoughts, feelings, words, and actions will influence the outcome. And prior to responding, Jack encourages us to pause, step back, and take stock. What's really happening here, right? When we think about the event, we pause, we step back, we take stock, and we say, what's really happening here? What's the story I'm telling myself about this? What am I feeling right now? What do I want? What are my intentions here? For any given situation, there are countless ways we can respond or react. Our job in life is to get better at solving for R. In some ways, we're kind of like a Tesla car, right? A Tesla car gets better the more you drive it, and so do we. If we mindfully engage with life, collect the data, and have the courage and commitment to keep trying new things, we're gonna get better. We're gonna increase our ability to respond to life's events for a more ideal outcome. Here's a simple example, played out with two different ways. Now, keep in mind, we could play these out a million different ways, but just for fun, here we go. Response number one, here's the event. It's gonna be the same event for both. Let's say you go to a restaurant and you get overcharged for the takeout order, okay? Now, your response is, or we might say reaction is, you freak out. You belittle the employee, you demand to see the manager, and the outcome, your bill's corrected, right? You got what you wanted out of it in that sense. The manager is obviously, it's visible that they're angry too, and they're matching the intensity of kind of your energetic charge to this. The employee immediately gets fired, and your wife, witnessing the whole thing, is embarrassed about how you showed up. When you jump in the car, she lets you know that you're gonna be sleeping on the couch. That's one way we can react or respond to that particular event. Now let's do a redo. Same thing, you get overcharged on a takeout order. Your response this time is to pause, step back, and take stock. And when you do that, you decide that the best response here, given for what you want, what you're feeling, and what your intentions are, is to quietly address the waiter as he stops by the table the next time. And when you bring it up to him, hey, I think I was overcharged here, he immediately takes ownership for the error, apologizes for it, ends up covering the cost of the appetizers that your family was going to enjoy that night. And not only that, you get to sleep in your own bed. So, same event took place, two different responses to that event, two entirely different outcomes. Our lives are not determined by what happens to us. They're determined by how we respond to life's events. And we want to start to get better and develop that habit of taking stock, of pausing, of planning, of being mindful and asking ourselves, what's really happening here? What's the story I'm telling myself here? What are my emotions that are coming up right now? What can I learn about myself in this scenario? What do I actually want? What are my intentions with my response? So there you have it. E plus R equals O. A super simple, not easy to master, but powerful equation we can use to improve our lives, our relationships, and our results. If you got value today, please share it with others. Go ahead and drop a comment below, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm on a mission to help illuminate and brighten the world in some small way, shape, or form. And I hope that these videos inspire and support you and the people you care about in navigating whatever change it is you've got going on and whatever dream it is you're excited to make come true. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you tomorrow.